Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Clifton Bowling. Thank you for joining me. I am a firm supporter in anyone coming here to this country legally. I think I did a previous video on this same subject. I have no problem with anyone coming over here legally. I have no problem with immigrants or whatever. I'm not that kind of person. I never was. I never will be. But to do so illegally only puts you in a bad predicament with the country. Now you walking around on eggshells, wondering whether or not you're going to get caught and sent back to your country and sent back to an oppressive country that probably put you through hell and high water. And it only puts you in a bad predicament. In case in point, in an article that I was reading, which we're going to go over here, the migrants that were trying to cross over basically have gotten tired of waiting on Title 42 to be expunged. So now they're getting tired. They're tired of waiting. It was supposed to have been done, but according to a Supreme Court decision, have basically suspended it. It was supposed to happen today, but they suspended it and essentially said it's not going to happen at this point. So the people, the migrants have gotten tired and they said, we're coming over anyway. So now there's been an influx of migrants crossing over the border because they're tired of waiting. So let's get into some of this article here. I'm just going to read a portion of this article and then I'm going to go into detail of what I believe is going on here. And the article says that it starts off with, whether Title 42 ends or not, migrants say they are tired of waiting and surge across the Rio Grande into the Eagle Pass, Texas area of operations. As many as 3,600 crossed so far this weekend, eclipsing last weekend's total of just over 2,800 migrant apprehensions in the Del Rio sector, according to a source operating within U.S. Customs and Border Protections. And in this article, scrolling down here, there are pictures of these migrants in long lines, look like regular people. They're holding their babies and so forth. And my heart goes out to them. I know they're trying to get away from whatever oppressive country they was in. I know they're trying to get away, and I understand that. So there's pictures of these guys crossing over. There's one particular picture, and like I said, and you guys can, I'll leave a link of this article in the description box below. You guys can log on to that and you can watch this and read the rest of this article on your own. But there are photos of mothers holding their babies, trying to cross over. There's one particular photo that says migrant mothers wait with their small children after illegally crossing the Rio Grande from Mexico. Unfortunately, they're doing this illegally. So this leaves them in a bad predicament. Okay. Leaves in the back predicament, but I want to get right into this. You can read, like I said earlier, you can read the rest of this article in the description box below. But this leaves them in a bad predicament, in a very bad predicament, because understandably, trying to flee from an oppressive regime, that could be understood. If I was in an oppressive regime and I was being oppressed and I had no rights, I had no material goods, anything, everything was taken from me, and everything I had to do for the government, I would want to run. I want to get away as well, you know. So I understand. I solemnly understand that. But as I said, doing this type of act illegally puts you in a bad situation with the country. Now, having said all of that, I want to deal with the Biden administration's attempt to remove Title 42, which essentially was a law that was created in 1944. I'm not going to go into the detail of that because I don't want my video to be deleted because it mentions something that I can't talk about. Okay. I've only been a YouTuber for a year. I don't have the clout that a lot of these YouTubers have where they can fight the powers that be. I don't have that clout. I'll just say that Title 42 was created in 1942. There was a similar law that was created in the late 1800s that combated certain problems in those countries, and the government didn't want those problems to be brought to America. Okay. President Trump reenacted Title 42 in 2019 or 2020 in order to combat those problems from coming here to America. Okay. President Biden wants to remove Title 42 to allow these migrants to come here. Now, having said that, this is my opinion about the Biden administration and the progressive Democrats. I do not believe at once, at all, not even a piece of my little old hair, and that isn't much, that they're doing this or want to remove Title 42 because they care for these migrants. They could care less. The progressive, communist sympathizing Democrats that are in office right now, okay, don't have a love for anyone, in my opinion. All they love is their agenda, and all they love is power and control. They have no moral sense of right or wrong. They don't believe in right or wrong, as a matter of fact. And that's not my opinion. That's a fact. They don't believe in right or wrong. They believe in moral relativism. Also, progressive Democrats oftentimes try to pose as the manifestation, the embodiment of morals and the embodiment of values, which is interesting to me because they have none. They pose as the moral ambassadors of goodness and love and kindness towards people. Yet I guarantee you they would not lift a hand or put their hand in their pocket to give money to anyone that's in need. But they will take taxpayers' money and divvy it out to people that they claim need the money, and then pose to you and I as the great moral avatars, if you will. They're hypocrites, in my opinion. So the Biden administration, in my opinion, is trying to pose as the great moral catalyst to get rid of Title 42 to allow all these people to come over here. The only reason why they're doing that is so that they can have a substantial voter base in case they lose the voter base that they have now, which they are losing a little bit at a time. I'm hearing this all the time of people who have voted for Biden, that they're upset with his policies and upset at the course that the country is going. And so they're either leaving the Democratic Party, or they're saying that I'm not going to vote for him anymore, or I'm not going to vote for any other Democrat that comes in office. So I'm just telling you what they're telling me. That's all I'm saying. I'm just telling you what they're telling me. I can only tell you what Democrats and registered Democrats are telling me. That's all I can say. But I'm telling you that I don't believe at all that Biden's attempt to try to remove Title 42, which has been basically suspended. It was supposed to take place today, but it was suspended due to a Supreme Court justice decision. So as I said, the migrants have gotten tired. They said, we're going to just cross over anyway, putting them in a bad predicament. Okay, because as you rush to try to come over here, what happens? People die, people drown, all these type of bad things happen because you're doing things illegally, and it puts you under stressful situations. But once again, the Biden administration and most of the Democratic, progressive Democrats, if not all of them, don't care at all. They just want to maintain power. Now, let me say this in the closing of my video. I've said this before. I don't want to see anybody in the comment box saying this. I'm not attacking people who vote Democrat. I'm talking. This is not the Democrats of the 1960s. These are progressive Democrats who are communist and socialist sympathizers. I've been studying this for some time. They're not the kind of Democrats you think they are. They have radical views, and most Americans are not in support of these radical, destructive views. They're destroying the country. They're destroying the country. These views are so radical that people are like, gee, that's radical. People that are on the left are like, gee, that's radical. That's crazy. I don't want to be a part of that. That's what progressive Democrats are about. Okay, so that's that. I want to make that clear. So things can change come midterms. Hopefully it will. Hopefully things will change. But if midterms is in November, that's a long way from now. So there's going to be a lot of misinformation, false information, disinformation, whatever you want to call it. There's going to be a lot of that. And my prayer and hope is that people will start waking up and watching alternative news sources to find out the other side of the spectrum, or find out other sides of the political spectrum, so that they can make better choices come November on both the right and the left. They can make better choices come November, and not just be bombarded with a lot of progressive Democratic ideology and far leftist radical liberal nonsense and mumbo jumbo. Stuff that is clearly destructive to this country. When you're being bombarded with that type of stuff, that to me is mind control. It's designed to manipulate your perceptions and manipulate your concept and your worldviews, so that it's harder for you to make proper decisions come voting time. That's what I believe. So hopefully people will start opening their eyes and saying, wait a minute, this is too radical. We need somebody that's more moderate, or we need somebody that's just a Republican or a true, or I won't even say Republican. I'll say someone who truly loves the country and truly loves the people. That's what we need. But what do you guys think about this article? What do you think about the migrants crossing over and getting tired of the Biden administration getting rid of Title 42 and crossing over illegally? What do you guys think about all of this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button. Share this video and subscribe. God bless you all, and see you again on another Black Conservative with Ryan Bowling.